The Debt-Free Lifestyle by Dr. Andrew Lewson. Chapter 9. Principle E. Education. The greatest wealth equalizer. One of the best ways is by getting a good education. An education helps one to be gainfully employed, set up a small business, or do well professionally. Parents should especially be aware of their responsibility to give their children the best education they can afford in order to break the vicious cycle of poverty. Honorable Chen Shan-wang of Taiwan served as his country's well-respected Minister of Finance. He was named Asia's Finance Minister of the Year in 1992. He later held the position of President of the Control Yuan with 29 ombudsmen working under him. Control Yuan is one of the 5 co-equal branches of the Taiwanese government, namely executive, legislative, judiciary, control, and examination. His sterling reputation for integrity throughout the decades of government service made him the most trusted political figure based on a Reader's Digest survey of Taiwan in 2010. He was elected into Congress with the highest number of votes. In international circles, Honorable Wang is known as Mr. Clean. If you look back at the extreme poverty of his childhood years, you would not think his life would hold any hopeful future. Born when China and Taiwan were still much poorer than other third-world countries, Honorable Wang lived with his parents in a tiny house with no kitchen, bathroom, or toilet. He and his siblings would bathe themselves with street water and would relieve themselves anywhere along the street or in a nearby creek. The biggest challenge each day was to find a public toilet. Even up to now, Honorable Wang relates that once in a while he still has nightmares in which he dreams of frantically looking for a toilet. Neither of his parents could go to elementary school because of poverty. The only job available for his father was to join the military. But although they were poor, Honorable Wang did not starve because his parents did their best to shelter and feed them. The Taiwanese government also distributed a monthly allowance of rice, oil, salt, and other staples. Honorable Wang's parents sacrificed tremendously to give their children an education. Honorable Wang did very well in school, passed many civil service exams, and was able to get good jobs. His first job was at the Bureau of Customs, which was one of the best-paying jobs. It was the Taiwanese government's policy to discourage corruption by paying their workers well, so that government employees who wanted to remain honest could survive on government pay and can choose not to be corrupt. When he got his first pay envelope, Honorable Wang handed it to his mother and tears rolled down her eyes. After having struggled so hard for so long, she now had a glimpse of hope. Now that her eldest son was starting to earn, perhaps they would no longer have to suffer as much as before. Honorable Wang was also awarded scholarships to go to the U.S. and study in Harvard. Because of his willingness to work hard, Honorable Wang was promoted and assigned to different government agencies, including the legislative branch. He was promoted to head the Bureau of Customs, head of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, which were important positions at the Ministry of Finance. Eventually, he became the Minister of Finance. For many people, having a good education is one of the best ways to get out of poverty. Honorable C.S. Wang came to the Philippines in 2013 and again in January 2015 to share his experience and his heart for the poor. Each time he came, he and his wife always made it a point to personally visit the slums. While he was here, he gave lectures on leadership, entrepreneurship, and fighting corruption. He kept reminding every audience to have the heart to help the poor. He knew that the Philippines used to be the envy of Taiwan and Japan, and he wanted to help our country succeed again. As he observed our country, he said, 100 million people in the Philippines may be a burden to the economy, but if the 100 million people are well educated, the 100 million burdens can become 100 million human resources. Education is the best way out of poverty. Having personally experienced the life-changing power of education, Honorable C.S. Wang set up foundations in Taiwan, China, and the U.S. to help the poor. His foundations helped build over 360 elementary schools and spearheaded the granting of scholarships to the brightest of the bright and the poorest of the poor in China so they could finish high school. His project is called Redeeming the Pearls. As of 2015, there are 41,000 of such pearls who are already on their way out of poverty as they continue with college education, get good jobs, and become valuable contributing citizens in society. Aside from their generosity with money and time, Honorable Wang and his wife were among the first citizens of Taiwan to volunteer as organ donors. They are also body donors, meaning that after their death, their bodies can be taken by the universities to be used as teaching schools and medical schools. If you want to learn how to be debt-free, you should also cultivate your financial intelligence. Let's call this financial IQ or financial quotient. Nestor, whose story we read in the previous chapter, graduated with a degree in banking and finance. Lena had a degree in accounting. Roland was a college graduate, yet all three ended up in debt, costing them years of misery and financial bondage. You can increase your financial quotient by reading books, seeking the professional advice of financial experts, watching educational television programs, attending seminars on financial management, browsing the web for information, and asking friends who are wise financial managers. King Solomon gives us this wise advice. Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. Reflect. Number 1. Do you agree that education is the best way out of poverty? Why or why not? Number 2. What struck you the most about the life of Honorable C.S. Wang? Do you know of others like him? Which aspects of his story are applicable to your circumstances? Number 3. Do you think that faith and financial wisdom are interrelated? Why or why not? We plan our day, our meals, our projects, our careers. But there is a particular kind of planning that we miss out. What should we be doing that is oftentimes neglected and taken for granted, yet is a necessary part of planning our lives? To answer this question, let's turn to Principle F.